Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rox and I am coming to you today with the 7th installment for Roxicology. I didn't do a Roxicology last week because y'all didn't send me nothing. And you really ain't sent me nothing for this week. I only have 3 letters to read, and really only 2 letters were sent to me. The other one is a special case letter that was actually sent to essence.com that I feel like I'm going to just go on and respond to, as well as if the lady had written a letter to me. So anyway, I got 2 letters today to read, and if I don't get letters for Roxicology, I mean, you guys asked me to bring Roxicology back and then you ain't sent shit. I'm just gonna answer these today, and then if I don't hear, if you guys don't want me to do them, then I won't. It's not no big deal or nothing. I mean, I ain't mad about it or nothing. I just, maybe that's just something we don't need to worry about right now. Okay, so anyway, let's get to them. Look, I got my phone case up so you guys can see it that I made. Ain't it cute though? Can you guys see? It's my iPhone case. There it goes. That's the best. And I made it. It's a battery case, and it connects onto the back part. That's the part that I put the stones on, but it is so pretty and sparkly, you guys. It has an external battery, and you can, anyway, that ain't really why we here, right? I done got off track before I even got started. So anyway, let me just read the letter to you guys. Hi Rox, I am a 19-year-old nursing student who recently had to end a relationship with my first serious boyfriend. He left his Facebook account up, and I looked in his messages and saw that he had been messaging other girls and had one of the ugliest females around sending him booty shots. I confronted him about it the next morning, and after a lot of prying, I was able to get out of him that he had sex with this mud duck sometime in June or July of 2012. So basically, he hadn't told me for 8 months, but we have continued to have sex and be in a close relationship because I had no clue. I knew I had to end it with him because I couldn't trust him anymore. I feel like I have lost my best friend. I know that it was for the best that we aren't together, but it's so hard for me to move on. Can you give me some advice as to how I can move on with my life, or should I give him another chance to make it work with me? So this is going to be fast because you already did what you needed to do. You left him alone. I mean, if you guys are in a serious relationship and that's not something that you want from the relationship, then you knew that you needed to end it. You asking me the question, should you try to work it out with him? See, these things are always interesting because I always have to try to put myself in the mindset of when I was 19 years old. I thought differently when I was 19 than when I am now 42. So I try not to be so harsh and abrasive because I'm trying to remember what my mentality was at that time. I'm just going to tell you that what I always tell people is that, you will move on. I mean, it's going to be hard right now, him being your first love. I'm assuming that he's the first person that you had sex with. I don't think you said that in the letter, but even if it was or wasn't, if this was the first person that you actually felt that you were in love with and that you shared all this with, yeah, it's difficult and all of that, but you're 19, and I'm gonna promise you're gonna have a few more of these type of heartbreaks. I'm not wishing it on you, but it just kind of happens because you have to sort through the bad before you can get to the good. Some of us don't have to sort as much. Some of us have to sort a long ass time. Shit, some of us are still sorting. Okay, so I don't think that you need to work it out with him unless that's something that you want to do. He didn't tell you about it because he didn't. Why would he tell you that? He already knew that if he told you that it was going to end up exactly like it did. So yeah, I think that, this was simple enough. I know it's hard for you because you're in it, but, for us looking in, yeah, it's simple enough. No, you don't need to try to work it out with him unless that is something that you feel like dealing with. If you want to be in a monogamous relationship with somebody, yeah, girl, just move on. It's okay. You're going to be all right. You are going to be all right. Find you somebody else. That's about the easiest way that I can put it, okay? So you'll be all right, honey. 19 years old, boy, I remember. Them was the good old days. I had some good times when I was 19, 20, all the way up till I was like 26, 27. These are the golden moments, so enjoy yourself. You don't even really have to be locked down quite at 19. Just go out and date and have fun. But yeah, that's what I would say to that. I am a 33-year-old married mother of 3, ages 13, 10, and 4. I am African American and my husband is Italian. My husband and I got married after I found out I was pregnant with our first child at 19. His family never really approved of our relationship, and I pretty much have ignored my in-laws all these years and vice versa. My issue is this: my younger children are very fair-skinned and look more Italian like my husband, while my oldest daughter is darker, has curly hair, and pretty much looks black and not biracial. My in-laws have always insinuated that my oldest was not my husband's child, but my husband did not initially treat the kids different. Without giving all the details, which actually I do have all the details because she sent me 2 letters, so I will kind of take all that into account when I get to the advice giving part. Sometime after giving our youngest child, my husband asked for a DNA test for our oldest daughter, which crushed me. What's worse is my daughter asked me why her dad doesn't treat her like he does her brother and sister. I have loved my husband for over a decade and I love our family, but seeing the pain in my daughter's eyes when she said those words were crippling. I am considering divorce and need advice. Okay. It's the glare from the phone. First of all, I hate giving advice on marriages on whether or not you should get a divorce or not, because marriages, of course, is very, very convoluted, and it's just a lot of factors to consider when you're talking about ending your marriage, okay? And especially one that's been, you guys have been married, I'm guessing you said something, at least 13 years, okay? Because I think that's how old your oldest kid is, but so I'm not going to tell you whether or not you should get a divorce. Truthfully, although I know that this is very, very difficult for you, I don't think that is something that you guys might need to divorce over. I think that is something that you guys really need to get serious counseling for, though, because it sounds like your husband has let the pressure of his family finally get to him, and where he just needs the validation in your mind. Now, I don't know if there's, in his mind, I mean. Now, I don't know if there's been any other things that made him think that maybe you might have cheated on him other than his family saying that, that there's all these whispers about it. And yeah, that would hurt my feelings as well, especially if, you've given him no other reason for him to think that you've been unfaithful. But it's also something that I think that maybe you guys could work through in counseling. Have you guys ever tried to get to some counseling and maybe try to figure out why he even thinks that, if it has anything else to do other than the fact that his family has been in his ear? The part that's kind of troubling, and the part that makes it all more difficult, is the fact that he treats your oldest daughter different. That is also because he's letting his mind control his heart, and the fact that this little girl is somebody that's come from him and that he's loved all this time, and now it somehow has changed, and now he's not really sure about her. That's really, for lack of better words, that's really fucked up of him, because even, I'm not saying that this is not his child, but when a man has raised a kid from, newborn all the way up to 13 years old, you would think that they would have some sort of emotional connection, even if he wasn't biologically her father. It sounds like he's taken out his, his being upset or resentment or whatever it is for you on your daughter, which is really wrong of him. Very unfortunate, and it has obviously caused damage to your daughter. Now, as a parent, as a mother, we always want to protect our child, and I see why you are feeling like you need to just forget the whole thing, especially with the fact that his family doesn't accept you and never has. I know that you said in the original letter that you sent me that your family finally did come around to accepting him, which is, what normally happens when, you see that they are really serious about being together. If it wasn't no fly-by-night relationship and you guys got married and then was divorced within a year, you guys have been together all this time. It's time to just realize that this is what it is. I'm going to be married to this man. I'm going to be married to this woman. You guys need to accept it. Nobody needs the extra strain of a family coming in between your relationship. So you guys really should go to counseling, because if you love him and if you love your family, and it is something that is worth fighting for, and if he has loved your daughter in the past and has treated her, right in the past, I really just think that he can't see the forest for the trees, okay? It's just too much shit going on in his head, and he can't. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses for him. He's dead wrong for treating your daughter that way, but if he's open to going to counseling, then I think you guys should try that. Now, if he's not open to going to counseling, and if you've built up a lot of resentment as well because of the way he treats your daughter, and for him just to have the gall to even ask you for, you know, a DNA test, then yeah, it's time to make some decisions maybe. And I just hate telling people to do that, but only you know what's going to work best for you and your family and your children. So good luck to you. I hope that it works out. You guys leave, you know, any other suggestions that you have in the comment section below for her, okay? But good luck to you. All right, you guys. So this last letter that I'm going to read is actually, like I said, it was written to essence.com, and it was a letter that this woman wrote to their advice columnist about her marriage. Okay, so I am going to read the letter to you. It's kind of lengthy, and that's why I'm glad that I only had 3 letters today, because it is sort of a lengthy letter, but I think you guys will be interested. So here we go. My man keeps calling me a nigger bitch during sex, and I hate it. I have been married for a year, and I am at my wit's end. My investment banker husband is from a white old money family. I am a first-generation Black American woman whose family is from the island of Jamaica. We met at a reunion for the Ivy League school we both attended, and he proposed in 6 months. We have the picture-perfect fantasy life. He wines and dines me, and we travel and shop the globe. Unlike all of the Black men I dated in the past, my husband is generous, loyal, committed, and considerate. He courted me, and I have never had to pay for anything. He said I could quit my job, and I did. He makes me feel like a woman. I am a little embarrassed to share our problem. The first time he let the N-word drop was during sex on our honeymoon. When I reacted negatively, he explained that a Black woman he dated in the past enjoyed being called racial slurs. Another time he joked that he had purchased my freedom. He also speculated about whether his family could have owned mine because I have good hair. Then he made jokes about my pubic hair. He called it my Negro bush and referred to himself as a nigger lover. He says I am being overly sensitive because he loves me to death and should get a black pass for marrying me. I told him that I don't appreciate these comments, and he says that my friends and family probably use the N-word all the time. He also asks why Black people can use the word and he cannot. I don't use the word or believe in the nigger differentiation. Neither does my family. I am too embarrassed to tell anyone about this because I know they might say that's what she gets for marrying a white man. Every time we try having sex again, the slurs fly. Our sex life is pretty much over right now because I pretend to be asleep every time my sexy, handsome man wants to be with me. I feel completely turned off. I love my husband deeply, so please don't tell me to leave him because that's not what I want to do. My husband was my first interracial relationship. Please tell me racial slurs aren't normal between interracial couples. I would like to figure this out before we have kids, but I can't afford to leave him and still maintain my lifestyle. How can I regain my sexual attraction for my husband? Signed, Black and Proud. Now, we're going to have to get, you know, a little less clinical for this one because this letter is a whole bunch of points that just kind of pisses me off. So let me first address the woman's side. Okay. What stands out immediately in the letter is that this is a wealthy white man who she met at an Ivy League school, who is able to wine her and dine her and give her the lifestyle that she probably never had. That can be blinding. It's always nice to have somebody treat you, you know, like you are a princess, okay? And I think that's every woman's dream. However, you should never have to sacrifice anything, your dignity, okay? The fact that you are Black, this is nothing that will ever change for a white person who has money, or anybody. It doesn't even have to be a white person, but anybody who has money. You shouldn't have to sacrifice your dignity and your Blackness and your self-respect for the fact that he can do all these things for you, okay? So what's really frustrating is that this woman kind of makes me feel like she has mistaken love for the fact that he's able to take care of her, okay, and do all these things for her, okay, because she mentions it quite a bit in the letter. She doesn't want to leave him. If she leaves him, then of course that means that she's not going to have the lifestyle that she wants. So, you know, how do we work this whole nigga bitch thing out? I can tell you one thing. I don't like being called derogatory statements when I'm having sex. It's just off-putting to me, okay? I don't want you to call me no bitch, you a nasty bitch. I don't like it. If you tell your partner that you don't like something when you in the bed, then that should be it. It shouldn't happen no more. Just just the general respect of him listening to your request, and you saying, I don't like for you to call me no nigga bitch when we having sex. He should respect you enough because he supposedly loves you, because supposedly you're his wife, and that he treats you like this princess, he treats you like a queen. He should respect that, okay? It only needed to happen one goddamn time, okay? And that was enough, okay? So if he didn't get the damn message, then shame on you. I'm looking at this whole relationship from the outside in. Of course, I don't know how he really feels about you, but what it's starting to look like to me is that he has a token. He's got this toy. He got this black girl. She pretty smart. She went to Ivy League school with me. She probably on scholarship though, because you know her family probably couldn't afford it. I could probably buy her whole family, but you know she's got good hair, so she, you know, she's a nigga that could pass. She's what we would call a house nigga. So yeah, I'm going to try her out. You know, she seems to be pretty good in bed, and she seems to be able to talk to my friends, but I don't know if I feel like this man loves you. Because if a man loves you, then why would he call you some fucking nigga bitch? And then to even be more derogatory and say things like he could purchase your family and that you have good hair. Now I understand that a lot of Caucasian people and people who are not black don't understand the sensitivity of black people and how we feel about our hair. They don't realize that it is a whole big deep discussion about natural hair, you know, curly hair, different type of textures, you know, weaves, and I mean that is a whole nother separate video. So I understand that white people don't understand the intricacies of how sensitive women are about their hair. But once you explain these things to him, then he should really get the picture. And that's why when I say that he didn't, if you told him that you didn't like it and he still does it, then where is the love in this thing? Where is it? If he's able to brush that lady off and just be like, "Aw, honey, you know I'm just playing. You know I love you," and all that. Yeah, that wouldn't be enough for me. Okay, and it's just all in what you want. Okay, if you don't mind being called different things, you know, because I know a lot of people don't mind. You know, it's like play. It's like sexual foreplay in the bed, or you know, you guys take on different roles. And if you was perfectly fine being a nigga bitch, then that's fine too. But if it bothers you, it would definitely bother me. It would definitely raise an eyebrow to exactly how he feels about me as a black woman. And you know, whether or not he truly loves me. Now, the fact that he says, "Oh, well, your friends call, you know, your friends say nigga all the time, and why can they say it and I can't say it?" You guys know how I feel about this. I say nigga all the time. I've said it plenty of times that I don't like the fact that white people say nigga, okay? And I know that that's like a two-way story, and I know it might be an ignorant way of thinking for a lot of people, but that is just how I am. Like, I'm not going to call a white person a honky. Okay, I'm just not gonna do it, okay, because I know that is a derogatory statement towards them. Now, if they call each other, you know, all these different derogatory statements or whatever, then that's between them, okay? Just like if I was gay and I've heard gay people call each other fag and things like that. I'm not going to call a gay person a fag because I know that it is derogatory. But if that's what they want to do within their group, then that's fine, okay? Now, I'm not trying to justify the word nigga. I know people are sensitive about that word as well. And if you don't want to say it, then I'm not going to try to force you to say it. If it offends you, like it does offend some people, I apologize. That is just a part of my conversation, and I'm aware that it does rub some people the wrong way. And so I kind of understand how all that works, but it's the same in this situation as far as I'm concerned. Okay, you white, you can't say it. Okay, that's just the best it is for me. I told you guys that if a woman calls another woman a bitch, I'm a little bit more okay with that than when a man calls a woman a bitch. It's just all these different things. Listen, you guys, it's rules to life, okay? And it's just kind of how it is. It's not the same, okay? And so I'm just trying to give you guys a comparison. Yeah, we can say all day that, you know, nigga means the same if it comes out of whoever's mouth. I just don't feel that way. It's a different connotation depending on who's saying it. And it's the same with the word fag. It's the same with the word bitch. And like I said, I know that that's not how a lot of people look at it, but that's how I'm just trying to explain it to you guys the way I see it. So that's it. How do you guys feel about this woman? Do you feel like she's been blinded by the money? They've only been married a year. I really don't see this marriage lasting. If they've already got to the point where they're not having sex because of the way, you know, she has to, you know, she doesn't want to have sex with him. But then it's even still more concerning at the end that she still calls him her sexy, handsome husband. That motherfucker sounds ugly to me if he gonna keep on saying shit like that to me. To me, what comes out of your mouth is what makes you sexy, what makes you handsome, what makes you attractive. You can be the finest person in the world and say some of the most foulest shit, and I will look at you like you the ugliest thing on earth. Okay, so yeah, I think this woman is really the bigger problem of this thing. She has a lot to accept about her own self, and you know, realize that, you know, she's pretty fucked up in it, and just for her to sit back and keep accepting the verbal abuse that this man is putting on her, I just feel sorry for her. But anyway, you guys chime in. I'm sweating and shit. I done worked up a damn sweat on that letter. Alright, you guys, that's all that I had to say. I'm parking in the same parking space in my job. Whenever I park here, it's always a glare, so that's probably why I look like I'm glowing and everything. I'm not really glowing, you guys. But, you know, I'll go on and accept the old glow glare if I must. It's kind of hot out here, too, so let me hurry up and get back to my desk. Lunch is over. Guys, remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar below. You guys, if you want me to keep doing Roxicology, you guys send your emails to the email address that's on the screen. It's itsrox@gmail.com. Okay, and I will continue to do these videos. I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.